Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of West Coast Davengers. Now, a lot of you are new to the channel, and I want to say thank you for subscribing. I just want to give a little acknowledgement to the fact that when me and Manu found this whole slab thing, and we compared the photos of the 252, decided to go live after he put the Instagram post, and then subsequently had another 2 lives after that, in engaging with the community and involving everybody. And also a big thank you to Swaggle House for joining us on that third one. When we broke that, we had no clue what was going to happen. As of today, when I'm shooting this on Tuesday after Christmas, there's still a lot of books being discovered. I think 5 or 6 Hulk 181s. I did not know what this was going to do. I did not know that this video was going to blow up and all of the stuff would blow up. But I want to just say thank you for joining. And I want to just let you know, as a little personal disclaimer for myself, this channel is about the love of comics from cover to cover and everything in between. I collect comics, I read comics, and yes, I do sell comics. But I just want to say thank you for subscribing, and I want you to enjoy this video of me unboxing a collection that I bought previous to all of this drama that's been happening. And now to the video. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of West Coast Avengers. Your comic fiend. You're in the storage, and this is where I bring everything before it goes in and gets processed and ready for sale. And you're seeing these road cases. You may remember me talking about buying a collection with these stored in these cases. Well, I only bought partial the collection. I went back today. The guy Rick, really nice guy, he contacted me. He's kind of getting ready to move, so he's he's selling off his husband's collection, and so I went to pick through and buy a bunch more of these cases and pretty much everything else that was not comic books. So we're gonna go through it. I've got my GoPro here, so we'll transfer over from what you're watching here to what's going to be filmed here, but we'll just give you kind of like an overview of what's in here. We'll go through a lot of it, and I hope you enjoy digging through this collection with me. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff, but see you on the other side.
All right, here we are. So why don't we just get started with some of this stuff here. Guy had a collection of statues and PVC figures and all this stuff from DC. It's mostly the Bombshell stuff or females, but Kotobukiya. So these are Japanese influenced manga or manga influenced DC figures. You could see it was arranged by Shunya Yamashita. DC Direct Power Girl statue, and then another DC Direct CoverGirl's Power Girl statue based off the art of Adam Hughes. So I'm sure these will be very easy to sell. I will not be keeping any of that. It is not of interest to me. He's a Superman fan too, so I got the Superman treasury, and then as well there's a Wizard of Oz treasury in there. This I'm actually keeping for myself just to flip through, maybe on the channel. The 75th anniversary poster book of DC Comics. So it's just fun to look at that stuff. And then the Tash and Superman book, that'll go up for sale. This is just a fun thing to have. The Art of Vintage Marvel, 100 collectible postcards. He is a Lady Mechanica fan, friend of the channel. Joe Benitez created Lady Mechanica. And they got this huge grip, as the kids say, huge grip of all these early Mechanica issues, 0 and all the ones, the signed one. So lots of variants. Some of this will be for sale, and then some of this will just go into my PC because I am a fan of the character. All right, so let's go through some of these figures. Deadpool Marvel Legends based off the Uncanny X-Force or the X-Force run. And then there's a whole bunch of these DC collectibles figures. This is pre-McFarlane. All right, so I brought a light in here so that you can see everything that I'm seeing. So we went through these DC, and I will be selling them all. Unless there's a very cool Batman figure in there, but I doubt it. All right, now there's two complete sets of these DC Comics variant Play Arts action figure designed by Tetsuya Nomura, who I believe worked for Square. I think this is all done by Square Enix, or part of the Final Fantasy. They do Final Fantasy games, so these are pretty interesting. They are very expensive. I did a couple of comps before I bought them all, but they generally sell for their original price tag. And I did not pay their original price tag. They're like $120 each or more. The Flash is pretty dope. This is, yeah. Anyway, these will all be for sale. And I will definitely offer them cheaper what they sell for generally. But they are interesting at best. And before I forget, I do want to show off the Batman. And here's the Batman. Batman is pretty dope. I mean, obviously, he's the coolest looking character. And this seal's broken. I think he opened them up and, like, these don't look like they were ever displayed, but some of them might have been. So I will do my due diligence in checking to make sure that everything is supposed to be in there is in there. So yeah, that's the rest of them. All right, so we got a box of omnibuses. I will probably keep the Civil War to reread because I loved it. I'd like to reread this, and I've never read this. But for the most part, all this stuff is completely and 100% for sale. Some kids' books. Oh, what's this? Coloring. Oh, this is pretty cool. Secret Wars, like, activity book that has stickers. This is a facsimile, but it's still pretty cool. And then little Marvel Standee Punch-Out book based on Scot Young's art. You know, give away some of this stuff during, you know, top bidder prize type things. And the Icons Jim Lee book, which is cool. It's not signed, but if you're into Jim Lee's DC output, this is the book for you. And also his Wildstorm stuff, because DC owns Wildstorm. And then this Wonder Woman book with a foreword by George Perez. And I know there's a lot of Wolverine hardcovers in here. Earth 2. You know, some of this stuff I'll keep because I want to read it. Yeah. Wolverine Origins. Which, the art by Steve Dillon on that was fantastic. What else we got here? Oh, one of my favorite books. And it's been a long time since I've read it, so it'd be nice to put that into the collection. Some X-Force. Yeah, I bet those are all out of print too, so those are probably worth more than cover, but if they're not, they're going to sell anyway. What's this? Oh, 1 in a million. So for the Grant Morrison fan who might want this, I bet this shit's out of print. Either way, lots of cool hardcovers, omnibuses, trade paperbacks, etc. So each of these is kind of like labeled. So this is a Wonder Woman box. And really, the two things that I saw in here that I was like, all right, I'll buy this because Sensation Comics number 74 and Wonder Woman 27. I mean, they're low grade, but whatever. Low grade, better than no grade. That's what they say, don't they? So this is all Wonder Woman stuff here. A couple of the Wonder Woman 77 specials, different covers. I think these actually sell for a decent amount because I think they were printed in a little print run. Amicom, I don't know that. And then there's some more Wonder Woman, some 12 centers. Then it just goes into kind of Bronze Age, but this is a great cover. I wonder if this is part of the I Ching era where she doesn't have powers. Then it goes into 20 centers, and then, you know, it goes into copper. So, you know, a full Bombshells run, it looks like, which also probably has some of the variants. So those probably should be somewhat easy to move along. Sensational Wonder Woman, or Sensation Comics. And then just some... There's a lot of... So this collection is littered with variant covers and incentive covers. So I was buying thinking about that too, that there might be some money in some of the incentives in the Marvel. But if you are wondering what I've gotten from this collection before, because this is not the first time I'm buying from him, a couple weeks ago you saw the Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 in 30 come back a 9.8, and that was from this collection. I sold that book for $1,700. Uncanny XMen, so this is the 4th volume by Bendis, or 5th volume. There are some variants in here. I think so. Yeah, I think I saw some towards the back here. Maybe it was a different box, but oh yeah, 600, and then there's a variant, and then these variants were in there, the action figure ones. So, you know, little by little, some of these books, yeah, maybe like $10-15. Some of these books maybe $5, but it's good to have inventory like this. There's an Uncanny XMen special variant. Some posters and stuff. I don't even know. I didn't look at those yet. Regenesis, variants. See, he was buying these variants at incentive prices. So that's a 1 in 25 for 25, a 1 in 10 for 10. Here's the second printings. He was a completist, beyond a completist. See, like this, I've never seen a Marvel feature homage variant. This is from that era where, like, the incentive variants were just starting, and people really weren't hip to them or didn't want to spend the money. And I think a lot of them fell by the wayside. And most of them weren't worth the money, but then some of them, it's just a cover artist might spike the interest. Adam Hughes has a lot of variants that kind of got really expensive because people weren't buying them. So it's interesting to me. It's like, I like learning about that, and the only way to learn is to buy a collection like this. So more Uncanny XMen. I believe there's a couple variant covers somewhere in back here too. But I wasn't really collecting at this time, so some of this stuff may not be variants. See there's the second printing. Alright, so that's an X-Men box. There's a Wonder Woman box. I want to show you, of course, it's all the way at the bottom. There's an all Scot Young box. Let's see, this is a Batgirl box. So this is interesting because, once again, Hughes, he was a big Adam Hughes fan. And so Adam Hughes did a lot of the covers for Batgirl. So much so is he's got 2 copies. I think this is the second printing of number 1. I think that's the first printing. And then this is some unknown printing to me. All Adam Hughes covers. So that'll be nice to sell some of that stuff. It's a cool cover. It's a Batman 75th anniversary cover. Hopefully some of these variants are like, I can just make 25, 30 bucks back here and there, and then boom, next thing I know it, I've made all my money back that I spent on this, and then everything's profit. Now, full disclosure, everything, the comics, the toys, the books, 900 bucks. I think I'll make that back in just the toys. Here's a bunch of just different variant covers, bombshells, all bombshells. So if you're looking for the bombshells, I'm your guy. I am your guy. Another Batgirl run here. That's the 2000 and I don't know what year this is, but it's one of those 2010 or something like that. And then what is this? This is a different one. This is an earlier run. I don't know. Cassandra Cain, I guess. Her first full run. No, it's her second run. Her first one would be this. And here's some of those books from that Batgirl run. So you can see all Batgirl. And then these things are fucking heavy, guys. Alright. Oh, alright. So I grabbed this Batwoman box for a couple things. There's a couple of Silver Age Batman in there. But there's this too. There's this detective run. So this is a variant cover of the Neil Gaiman story. What happened to the Cape Crusader? It's clearly a 1 in 50 with that $50 price tag. But then, like, he got this run, and then there's the variants. So there's 3 different covers on 854, and I know that's a key. And then 855, 859 has 2 covers. And I don't think these are super easy to find anymore. They're great artists. It's either J.H. Williams or it's Jock. And so they get to be, people look for them. So I bought this Batwoman box basically because of that. And then there's this Batwoman run. So you get about 3 copies of number 1. And then there's variants in here. So these are variants I'm not even familiar with. They did these like horizontal variants. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Check that shit out. So I don't think it's going to be tough to move this to the people that are looking for it. But if you are looking for Batwoman, I got it. This box ends up, in the long run, probably being the best of what I got today. Is because it is full of only Scot Young variants and prints and variants. So, technically, even just an average of $10 a pop on these, because they're all minty, or at least near minty, and let's just say $10 a piece. I'm looking at I don't know, 250 books here, at least, maybe 200. So we get all our money back just from this box. Like if somebody's like, I'll give you $1,000 right now for this box, I would say, done. Scot Young's got a rabid fan base. I know not everybody's into him. I like his older stuff where it's more Sienkiewicz inspired, but some of these covers are actually humorous. And so they sell. They have a lot of fans and they sell. And so, you know, it's all Scotty. I think the only thing that's not in here are some of the like Deadpool ones, because I got all his Deadpool stuff already, and I think most of the Scotties were in there. But look, this is literally like 6 years worth of weekly, you know, Scotty variants or whatever. And this is honestly like this. I know, to quote everybody on fucking Craigslist, I know what I have here. And then there's, I guess, a run of just all these Rocket books. So, oh, wow, that's interesting. So I had these earlier this year from somebody who had all, but they were all signed by Scotty, but now I've got them all unsigned. All right, so, and it just continues, just more Scotty, more Scotty. So, you know, like I said, these are, this is a great one. I know some of these are going to be $10, some of them will be 15, but honestly, like, even if I sold some at $8 or $5 a piece, I'm not losing money on this. And that's really the important thing when you're buying a collection, is that you just got to make sure that you're not losing money. You don't have to make a bunch. You don't not everything has to be a $9,000 profit, or, you know, not everything has to have these 9-8 killer books. For somebody that sells long term, this is not a hobby. This is a hobby, but this is a job. And for somebody that does this on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, I have to make sure that I've got inventory. And I have to make sure that I always have stuff that people, oh yeah, you gotta love that. Always got to make sure that I have stuff that people are looking to buy, and not just the people that are looking for one thing. It's the people that are looking for one thing, and then another thing, and then another person's looking for Scotty. And so, to me, it's all about, and also trying things, you know? The figures is not my thing. I mean, I used to collect toys a lot when I was a kid, but I didn't get into it when, you know, in the post-McFarlane era where everybody has to keep upping their game because of McFarlane toys, I didn't get into it. And obviously this stuff I know is very easy to move. It's either super cheap so that people can read it in a nice collection, or it's out of print and it commands a premium because that is the only way to read it. So just wanted to give you a little insight into like me bringing in a collection, what it entails, and the amount of work that goes into it. So like, this is not easy. Now, over the next couple weeks, I have to be going through this and kind of just separate, like, okay, what's going to sell at a claim sale and what's going to go in a long box for my next con for a couple, you know, $1 a piece, or to the guy who buys my bulk stuff. So that's going to be that for this video, but back to Dave, and I'll see you in a minute.
Well, wasn't that special? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This collection will take a little time to go through, and I'll work on pricing. But if you see anything in here, and I haven't already started putting this out for sale on Wednesday, then feel free, hit me up on Instagram. You can find a contact in the description below, my link tree as well. But I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, a little insight into how I do this and the amount of work it takes. So once again, thank you for watching another video, another collection from the West Coast Davengers. West Coast Davengers. And we'll see you next week.
Meow.